Chisaki, Blue Futon, and out of the Netflix world, even though it might not even be a Netflix release, it was actually a Paramount release on their network that was called Spike TV, called Waco. It's about the Waco attack in 1993, and even though it's on Netflix, I'm still going to call it a Netflix review because Paramount and Netflix have been doing these deals now, kind of with the Cloverfield Paradox, as well as Lovebirds, that movie that was supposed to come out in theaters like April 3rd or something. But 6 episodes, I watched Waco. Let's see what it's about. So Waco stars Taylor Kitsch and Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon plays the FBI negotiator, and he is a real-life guy called Gary Nosher. I'm probably saying his name wrong, Nosher. And as well as Taylor Kitsch, who plays the character of David Korsh. And make sure you say shh because it explains it in the show why it's like that. But I have to show it right there because I want to use the real-life names in this story. So before watching Waco, I didn't know a lot about the actual attack. Yeah, I knew it happened in 1993. I knew it was in Waco, Texas. I know there was a religious cult. Some people call it a cult. It might not be a cult. It's up to your interpretation. But a lot of people died. About 75 people died in a fire accident. And people are saying, was it mass suicide? Or was it because what FBI did with the gas? But that is in the back side of the story. But this whole story is about what happened. It's very much a character-driven study of the ATF, the FBI, 2 sides of the FBI, the negotiation side and the tactical side, as well as the people in this compound. So I'm going to go kind of in depth with this, so it might be a little bit longer review, so there's a heads up. We'll go with the ATF side. So the ATF side is alcohol, tobacco, firearm. They go in basically saying they think this cult or this compound is selling or making semi-automatic rifles into fully automatic rifles. So basically making semi to full. But they shoot the compound, go ham on the compound. There's also, that's the very beginning fight. Who shot the first bullet? This series shows the FBI people shooting the dogs first and then shooting into the compound, and there was a huge battle going on. And it was a reporter who actually called the sheriff and did a ceasefire, which I find that very interesting why a reporter is the one that did it. And of course, during this time, the ATF wanted to have their image redone because in Idaho, they killed a wife of someone else. So the ATF's like, this is an opportunity to show we need funding and we're good. But it goes haywire. I mean, absolutely haywire. The tape that the person was filming, it disappears. So it shows a lot of stuff of like who fired the first shot, but knowing this cult and what they are standing for, they just wanted to be left alone. So I really doubt they would do the first shot. So that's where I'm going with ATF is wrong. And there's a character, John Lewis, I don't know, I pronounce his name completely wrong a lot of times. He's only in the show for maybe 2 or 3 episodes. Let me try to find it. Yes, John Leguizamo. I cannot pronounce it to save my life, but he is one of the ATF people who said, you know what, I'm going to go in this compound and see what they're about. He basically tries to stop the raid, and they're being like, hey, stop. But he kind of gets thrown in the background in the story because ATF basically says he was compromised. We're going to go into his character and basically see if he was compromised and basically making sure this raid goes wrong, which that's the negative of the story because they don't go into his character enough. I don't know if he's a real character or not, but I wanted to see his side of the story a little bit more. So let's go to the FBI side now. Now you have the negotiation side and the tactical side. The negotiator, Michael Shannon's character, really wants to deep dive into these characters and say, you know, we need to get people out. This is the only way we're going to get these people done because they've been living in this compound with like barely, with MREs, no running water. They built it from the ground up and everything. So they really think tactical is going to get them to come out. That's false. But there's a huge internal battle between the negotiator and the tactical side of who's right and who's wrong. And you kind of see both sides of the argument, but it's the Michael Shannon side you kind of agree with the most. As well as now let's go to the cult side. This is a very interesting one because the TV show shows the positive and negative of this person, but it's hard to tell if it's a dramatized of everything happening. So with that, I have never watched this show and wanted to buy the book. So this is based off 2 books. Macaulay Culkin. It's not Macaulay Culkin. It's Roy Culkin. I'm gonna find his name now too. Roy Culkin. He writes a book. His character in real life writes a book as well as Michael Shannon's character. And I bought these books after the 6th episode. I said I gotta buy these books. But the one that's by Rory Culkin, that one's very hard to find. It was like on eBay for $70. Okay, I found it on Books A Million, but it's in back order. Anyway, but I love this series. Like, yes, there are some faults of character development on some of them, but I've never felt like an emotional impact of me wanting to buy these books and wanting to know more about this, because the very end frustrates me of, you all know the ending. The FBI puts in tear gas and the building goes up in flame. There are past experiences where this tear gas substance has caused multiple fires throughout the United States. And in 2000, they decided it was a mass suicide. I have to disagree so fucking hard that this is a cover up. This is such a cover up of the FBI messing up. I really do believe, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is like, just admit your faults. You admit your faults. You guys fucked up the tactical side of you wanting to go in and not knowing everything about this, because during the raid, they'd go in to do the gun room, but they can't find the gun room. So what is this gun room? Yeah, there might be some guns in the house, but like, where is this evidence to prove that this is actually happening? Which they kind of don't explain if there was actually a gun run or what they're doing. Were they making guns into automatic weapons? We don't know that. So it doesn't go into that. This is more of the raid and the FBI side of what happened during the 51 days. So I'm not going to be going so much into it because it's a frustrating aspect of what's happening on both sides, where you see both sides of the story, but you just see people getting frustrated and just wanting to get this raid over with. But it's the FBI side of going through tanks and what they're doing completely killed the 75 people. I truly, truly do believe that it wasn't a mass suicide, except for maybe the cult leader and Steve, just because he knew it was over and he didn't want to get burned by the flames, or he didn't want to leave the place. But man, the last episode is very, very hard to watch, of watching kids die and the parents die in this kind of vault, and they can't get out because of the tear gas and the place going up in flames. So it's very, very dark and gritty at that point in time. But I was so fascinated by the story that I was up till 2 in the morning just wanting to know more about this. And everything I reads like a cover-up. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys. I do not believe in conspiracies as much as I do anymore now with aliens coming out and the coronavirus and stuff like that. But this is such a cover-up, in my opinion, with showing what happened in the 70s, what happened in the 80s with this chemical knowingly starting fires, and the FBI not having a contingency plan of knowing this might start a fire. Let's have some fire departments out there. And there's very good aspects of like this cult, if you want to put it, has been out there. The sheriff doesn't even wear a gun because there has never been issues with these people. So where did this tip-off come with abused children, something like that, which it shows it's not abused children. Yes, he had multiple wives, and yes, he's had multiple children with the multiple wives, and some of the wives were actually married to other people. So it's very interesting and very weird. And not being weird, but is it illegal in Texas at that time? No, it wasn't. But Waco, this is a long review. If you stayed this long, thank you. I might be mumbling now of what's happening with this story, but yeah, acted supremely, filmed supremely. I wish maybe there's a movie about this. Maybe I need to do research, but this 6-part TV series was perfect. 6 parts, that's all was needed. Acted well, shot well. Yeah, like I said, there's some character developments of some people. I don't know if it's dramatized or Hollywood made, of like the John Lizzie Gizmo. I can't pronounce his name to save my life. I'm sorry, my guy. But I wish his character was a little bit more fresh out what ATF did, because ATF and FBI screwed up in this, in my opinion. But anyway, Waco will receive a 4.5 out of 5 with Futon. It goes at 90%. So let's see the critics' new scores it gave this TV show. So you have the critics is 68% with 44 of them. The audience is 74 with 290. Here's critic consensus. Waco brings its fact-based drama to life with an outstanding ensemble. Through its simplistic approach to the main character may offend some viewers. Did it offend me? Not at all. It more offended me of what the actual actions were and what I'm reading about. Hopefully I could get the 2 books in. I could read them, because I am reading like the people that did Mindhunters. I find that fascinating what they're trying to do. Like, I'm not saying the FBI is all bad about cover-ups, but them trying to figure out the murders. But just in 2000, where they said it was a mass suicide, I can't believe it. Like, as what? Holy, yo! I jumped hard. Anyway, train of thought. But yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of this TV show. Loved it. Chase like the Blue Futon, like, comment, subscribe, no things Futon, Joby, Futoning. Thank you for watching and have a great day. I lost my train of thought because of my damn dog.